Hello everybody, welcome back to another card for my Valentine's Day card series. This time I'm using Clearly Besotted Sweet Treats. I've gone ahead and stamped out these cute little images. I think they're hamsters, that's what I colored them as, but they are so cute, squished inside of all these sweet little treats. I just about die every time I look at these. Hard to pick a favorite. I love pancakes, leaning towards that one, but this waffle is pretty cute too. The macaron is also a favorite with that squishy little hamster stuck inside of it. Anyhow, so I am kind of digging into my stash for these Valentine's Day cards. I don't have a lot of Valentine stamps, and it's not really something that I'm into purchasing because I don't think I'd get enough use out of them, but I think what I'm trying to demonstrate with this series is that you can pretty much turn anything into a Valentine's Day card if you just color it with pinks and reds and just put a lot of hearts on it. So this stamp set, I'm going to show you here how I'm coloring the little hamsters. So I've got all the colors listed on the caps there to the left hand side of the screen, and then I just added in a little R20 for the cheeks and a little bit inside his ear. I'm also going to show you the hammy donut, that's what I'm going to call this one, because this is the only one where you can actually see the body, so I thought I would just show you how I shaded that. So darker under his chin and then on his sides to make him look a little bit round, and leaving the center of the bottom of his belly there the lightest color. So these are really easy to color, very quick, and because you're using a lot of the same colors, it goes fast. So here they're all colored. Now I'm going to use some Copic markers, the R85, the R83, and the R81 as my pink colors. I'm going to use them in combination of all three, and then for some I use the R85 and the R83, and others I use the R83 and the R81 to get some variation in color. So when I started with this macaron, I was going to do the outside pastry pieces dark pink and the inside like light pink. You will see that I do change that up as we go through the coloring for this card. But for now, I'm going to do the inside filling lighter, and I'm also going to bring in the blender pen just to lighten it even more. But I think this turned out really cute. You're going to see here. So I'm using the R83 on the sides, the R81, and then bringing in the blender pen. Gonna have a little bit of strawberry ice cream for this little hamster. So just trying to be light-handed with the two darker colors and then blending that out with the R81. I decided to do all the colored pieces first, thinking that would be easier because these are kind of monotone, monochromatic little images. So like the hamsters are all the same colors, and then I wanted to use the, the bottom of the donut and the ice cream cone and the waffle and the pancakes in the same sort of color family. So you have to be careful because it can kind of get washed out. So I thought it would be easiest to color these by putting the colored elements on first. So I'm actually bringing in a little bit of pink for the little strawberry there, and here's where I decide that I didn't like that macaron, and so I've decided to give it a strawberry filling. So I'm just using some of my red markers there, the R29 and the R24. These are fairly tiny images, so a lot of them I'm only using two color blending, and it works out just fine. Especially with reds, you don't want to oversaturate the paper, so I was fine just using two colors on this. Now, here I go again, back with the red in the macaron filling, and this time I'm committing to an actual dark red, and I do like that a lot better. I just think it pops more and gives the little macaron some dimension. So for the pancakes, I'm kind of going blindly with this. I didn't test it out. And I'm going to say I love eating pancakes, not as big as a fan coloring the pancakes. So I started out with the GB7 and then wanted more of a brown color. So these pancakes are kind of like toasted brown pancakes. Maybe they've been on the pan a little bit too long. And then I brought in the GB4, which is a golden yellow color. And then the GB1 is a very lighter, kind of like an ivory yellow. So I get those colored up. I decided that it needed a second coat. I was trying to do a little bit more shading with the brown. I'm not sure if I liked it better before or after I played around with it a little bit, but it's fine. I mean, it's cute. Nobody who gets this card is going to be critiquing my pancake coloring ability. So it turned out fine. And I'm going to use a combination of these 4 colors for all the little treat pieces that are left on the card. So for the waffle, I decided to do the little inset squares darker, kind of thinking that they would be further back to try to give it some dimension. And then the cross hatch pieces I did with the lighter colors, and I think it turned out pretty cute. I think there could have been a little bit more dimension on the lighter yellow shades, but it's fine. I'm looking at the card now, and I mean, these images are just so cute. It really doesn't matter how you color them. So with the ice cream cone, I'm doing the GB9 and then I'm doing the GB1. So this is a huge leap in terms of the colors, but I wanted it to be a really light shade. And then for the donut, I'm going for more of a darker donut color. So I'm doing the GB9, the GB7. I think those are the only 2 colors I use. And I do go over this twice because I felt like the GB9 just got faded out way too much. So the second time I go around, I don't touch the GB7 to the GB9 as much. And here's where I decide I just want a little bit more kind of blending where the 2 colors meet. So I'm doing the tip to tip technique here. So I'm taking my lightest marker, the GB1, to the GB9. Now for this pancake, I know that this is melted butter on top of his head, but we're going to pretend that it's strawberry jam because he needed a little punch of color. So I'm just going to finish up coloring these images, bringing in the green for the strawberry and then yellow for the butter. And then I'm taking my black glaze gel pen for the eyes and the little noses so that they really stand out on the card. You can see the difference here from the ones that I have already done and the ones that are not done, and it just makes them pop a little bit more. So after I do that, I'm going to bring in my Spectrum Noir glitter marker, or glitter pen, however you want to call it, and I'm going to put a lot of sparkle on these little cuties just to jazz them up a little bit, seeing it is a Valentine Day card. So yeah, are these not the cutest? Seriously. If you guys have a favorite out of this little bunch, and there's more in the set. There's a croissant, there's like a Christmas pudding, there's a chocolate chip cookie. I mean, too cute for words. So now I'm coming in with the white gel pen and I'm going to do some dotting on the cupcake liner just to add a little bit more interest to that little character so it doesn't just look like a blotch of red. And then I'm just going to do some lines here. I was trying to break up that pancake a little bit because I just couldn't get it to where I liked it. But then I want the glaze on the donut to look shiny, so I'm adding some detail to that. A little bit on the strawberry and the cherry, and then on the side of the macaron. So here's the coloring complete. And now we're going to work on the rest of the card. So this is Bristol Smooth cardstock, and I'm using the Candy Apple Distress Oxide to do a little bit of a background. I'm really into simple cards lately, and I know that's not going to surprise anyone, but Like I'm into like really simple cards right now. So I don't know. My eye is drawn to clean and simple. So I'm just going to do a very light background here with the Distress Oxide just to have these images pop out. I wanted to tie in the red because there's definitely more pink in the coloring. So this is one way to do that. And when you see my hand go off screen, I'm just blotting it onto a scrap piece of paper beside me just so that I don't get big globs on my paper. But I am going to darken this up a bit, and then here's the finished product. I've decided to corner round my card today. I thought that just gave it a little something different, you know. I know I'm wild and crazy, but yeah, so I wanted to give a little bit more interest to this really simple card. So I'm using a pre-made card base from Michaels. Now these are actually, they say they're A2, but they're actually 4 inches by 5.5 inches. So you just need to be cognizant of that if you buy the pre-made ones from Michaels, the Recollections brand. So now I'm going to start adhering this card, getting these little cuties on here. There are a ton of sentiments with this stamp set, and a number of them are in speech bubbles. So I just stamped those out prior to making the video with my VersaFine black onyx ink, so I could let that dry and cut them out. And now I'm just going to pop up a couple of these. Again, going a little wild here. That's how I'm adding interest. Really, these things are just, I think I've said this before, I feel like I'm saying this way too much in this card, but these are just so cute. You really don't need to do much. So now I have those adhered, and then I decided I better get the sentiments on. So this little one is Treat Yourself. This one is Ooh La La, which cracks me up. And so I wanted that one over top of the macaron. And then this one says You're Sweet. So I wanted to use odd numbers of sentiments and little characters. For design element, things look better to the eye if they're in odd numbers. I think it works in this case. I'm just going to adhere the rest of the images down with some liquid glue. And these guys are just kind of hanging out in a line. I'm not really sure what they're doing besides looking cute. And really, that's all they need to do. So I am going to just draw in a little bit of grounding here. I don't know if this really worked for this particular card, but the little kind of devil in me on my shoulders is always saying, make sure that they don't look like they're flying in midair. But I don't really think it was necessary for this card. So I grabbed some of these Recollections epoxy hearts. This is how I'm going to make this Valentine's Day. Super easy. Use what's in your stash. You could use little hearts punched out of glitter paper, whatever. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Get out there and use your stamps for Valentine's Day. Here's the inside of the card. I put the little pancake on the inside, and here's the still shots. Thanks for taking time to hang out with me, and I will see you all really soon. Bye!